The mastermind of the Mumbai terror attacks of 26/11, Tahawwur Rana, has been brought back to India, and that's our top focus here on News 9. And to talk all about it, I have with me in the studio Aditya Raj Kaul, our Executive Editor for Strategic Affairs. Aditya, thank you so much for being with us. Mumbai 26/11 terror attack accused and mastermind Tahawwur Rana landed this afternoon at the Palam Airport in India's capital, Delhi. Rana is likely to be produced before a special NIA court at Patiala House in Delhi. Now, government sources in India say a multi-agency team from India was deployed to the US to bring him back. All paperwork and legalities have been completed with the US authorities. A hugely significant development coming just days after Rana's last resort attempt to evade extradition to India failed after the US Supreme Court denied his application, moving him closer to being handed over to Indian authorities to face justice. Tahawwur Rana is a Pakistan-born Canadian national and a close associate of one of the main conspirators of the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks, David Coleman Headley, a US citizen. The central government has appointed Special Public Prosecutor Narendra Mann for trial in this case. Meanwhile, sources have revealed that the trial court records related to the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, which were called from Mumbai to Delhi at the end of January, have recently been received by the Patiala House Court in Delhi. The trial court records relate to the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks are likely to be part of the evidence in the NIA case, which names Tahawwur Rana and David Coleman Headley as the main accused. In January this year, Delhi's Patiala House Court recalled its trial court records related to the Mumbai attacks following an application filed by the NIA requesting their retrieval from Mumbai. Now, meanwhile, the first statement from Pakistan after Tahawwur Rana's extradition to India has come out. Pakistan's Foreign Office in a video statement said, and I quote, Tahawwur Rana has not renewed his Pakistani documents in the last 2 decades. His Canadian nationality is very clear, unquote.
On the Tahawwur Rana issue, we have conveyed our position regarding his Canadian nationality. And as far as our record indicates, he did not even apply for renewal of his Pakistani origin documents for the last 2 decades. I reiterate position. We will give further updates in due course.
Needless to say, Pakistan in its desperation has distanced itself from Tahawwur Rana. Pakistan is distancing itself because Tahawwur Rana is a Pakistan Army and ISI, Pakistan's intelligence service insider, who will now spill the beans on Pakistan's direct role in conspiring the terror attacks of 26/11 in Mumbai. Let's also now listen to what India's Union Minister Piyush Goyal had to say.
कांग्रेस सरकार के समय हम जिस होटल में खड़े हैं, यहीं पर आतंकवादियों ने हमला किया था। ये होटल पे लोगों की जान गई थी, लेकिन कांग्रेस की सरकार ने कुछ किया नहीं आरोपियों के ऊपर सख्त सजा दिलाने के लिए, बल्कि जो पकड़ा गया था कसम उसको भी बिरयानी खिलाते थे। ये मोदी जी का दृढ़ संकल्प था कि जिन लोगों ने हमारी देश पर आंख उठाई उनको सख्त से सख्त सजा मिले, और आज हर भारतवासी को गर्व है मोदी जी पर। विशेषकर हम सब मुंबईकर कृतज्ञ हैं मोदी जी के कि ऐसे लोग जिन्होंने हमारे देश के ऊपर हिंसक आक्रामक हमला किया था, उनको हम भारत के धरती पर भारत के कानून के अंतर्गत सजा दिलाएंगे।
We are encouraged to hear about the extradition to India of one of the perpetrators of the terrible and horrendous terrorist attacks that happened in Mumbai on the 26th of November 2008, which took the lives of more than 170 innocent civilians, including Israelis. I would like to thank the government of India for its persistence in bringing the terrorists to justice.
बड़ा आतंकी हमला हुआ था 26/11 को 2008 में, और उसमें आपको मालूम है कितने निरपराध लोग मारे गए थे, कितने अपने पुलिस बांधव मर गए थे, उसमें कई जवान शहीद हो गए थे। खुशी की बात आई है कि तहव्वुर राना जैसा एक 26/11 का मास्टरमाइंड का मददगार वो भारत में आ रहा है। तो मेरी एक विनती है सरकार से कि जल्द से जल्द उसको फांसी होनी चाहिए।
Tahawwur Rana is our big focus here on News9, and to talk more about it, we have my colleague Aditya Rajkot, Executive Editor Strategic Affairs, with me in the studio. We also have Ambassador Prabhu Dayal, former Indian diplomat, also joining us on the broadcast. Ambassador Prabhu Dayal, thank you so much for being with us. I'll quickly just come to you. Let me first get in the reaction from our very own Aditya Rajkot. Aditya, Pakistan desperate, trying to distance itself using excuses like, Tahawwur Rana is not even a Pakistani citizen anymore. But where was Tahawwur Rana from? I mean, Pakistan really has nothing to say at this stage.
Well, Tahawwur Rana was from Pakistan and has been a part of the Pakistan Army. He has served as a captain in the Pakistan Army's Medical Corps and has been all through an ISI man. He's a deeply radicalized and motivated person against India. He wanted to launch terror attacks against India, against Indian Army, against Indian security establishment, and that's why he was very deeply involved in this conspiracy of Mumbai 26/11. Now, Tahawwur Rana is not some small fry who was only giving forged documents and visas to David Coleman Headley, his childhood friend, but he was deeply entrenched in this entire conspiracy against India and was as equally involved as any other member of Lashkar-e-Toiba or the Pakistan ISI. What Tahawwur Rana's entire extradition to India really means is, one, of course, the diplomatic win. On the other hand, the India-US strategic partnership and cooperation, which has now gone to another level, with Trump himself announcing the extradition during Prime Minister Modi's visit to the White House. And now, with his landing in New Delhi, he will be taken for his custodial interrogation after his court appearance. And there the grilling will begin. He will have to answer a lot of questions. He will have to build the entire chain of sequence of how the entire conspiracy of the Mumbai 26/11 was happening. What was the role of people like Sajid Mir and Major Iqbal, and also David Coleman Headley. He is likely to reveal names of a lot of Pakistan Army and ISI officials who were involved in the Mumbai 26/11 attacks, and he is, he is a key witness to this entire saga, in this entire case, and it's likely that the NIA would seek his death sentence or and life imprisonment. It depends on the kind of assurances that India would have given US, and depending on his, he's a Canadian citizen where death penalty is banned, but of course in India it isn't banned. So we'll have to wait and watch how the trial progresses. But it is a big catch for the Indian agencies. The NIA, the Mumbai Police and the RNAW have worked night and day in the last 17 years to make this day happen.
It's a momentous occasion. It's a very important day that has been in the making for more than a decade and a half. We also have Major General Ashwani Sivach, Defense and Geopolitics expert, joining us on the broadcast. Major General Ashwani Sivach, thank you so much for being with us. Let me first take this across to Ambassador Prabhu Dayal. Ambassador Prabhu Dayal, the entire process of extradition, any normal extradition itself is extremely complicated and requires great levels of diplomacy from two nations. And in this particular case, this is a big signal that is coming in from the US with the extradition of Tahawwur Rana to India, that if there are more, then they too will be extradited.
Yes, indeed, you're absolutely right. In fact, Aditya Raj Kaul very correctly said that this is a very big diplomatic win for India. And he pointed out that it shows the sort of relationship which now exists between India and the United States. And he correctly highlighted the fact that President Trump himself made this announcement relating to the extradition of Tahawwur Rana. And it shows that the United States is going to be extremely cooperative in this regard. And you're right, perhaps we may be able to get more people extradited. Now, it is also a very big development in terms of the sort of evidence which will now come tumbling out when the trial of Tahawwur Rana takes place. Evidence which will clearly establish the direct involvement of Pakistan's ISI. Of course, this involvement has been beyond doubt. It has been well documented. In the trial of Ajmal Kasab, we were able to get a lot of pointers which indicated that there was a direct involvement of the Pakistan government. But Tahawwur Rana was a key part of this chain which connected David Coleman Headley with the ISI. In fact, he was the go-between. So I may mention that according to the reports which I have seen, during his several trips to India, David Coleman Headley made a number of telephone calls to Tahawwur Rana, who was in the United States, because through Rana he was coordinating action with the ISI. In other words, Tahawwur Rana was the link between David Coleman Headley, who was masterminding the operations here in India, and the ISI. So the evidence which will come tumbling out when the trial of Tahawwur Rana takes place will be extremely vital in piecing together all the details regarding how the ISI carried out this operation, the extent of its involvement, the manner of its involvement, and whether there were some dangerous Indian elements also. Because it is not unlikely that there were some conspirators from within India.
Absolutely.
So, I can say that there are a lot of calls in the country that he should be very quickly executed. Tahawwur Rana should be very quickly executed. I would disagree. I think that our agencies should be able to get all the evidence out from him, because he will contain a whole lot of evidence. He is an encyclopedia of evidence. So we should get everything out from him, and it is very, very vital that we should be able to have him put on trial and testify in particular regarding the role of the Pakistani intelligence. Now, I may also point out that Pakistan is already in denial mood. You know, they are the biggest deniers of all evidence which is pointed
Ambassador
out
Prabhu, fair point you make. Pakistan is in denial mode. We know that. We will talk about that more. But there's a very important point you just made about the kind of information that could come from the interrogation of Tahawwur Rana. Major General Ashwani Sivachan, that's a crucial point, isn't it? You have to conduct this interrogation as exhaustively as possible so you can get every single piece of information from Tahawwur Rana.
Absolutely correct. See, Krishna, Tahawwur Rana is one of the main, you can say actor and character in this whole episode. Now, Tahawwur Rana was rightly brought out that he was a Pakistani army officer who was a doctor, and then he went to Canada. He became a Canadian citizen. He has a dual citizenship of Canada and also Pakistan. Now, the point is that he was the one who was running an immigration law center in Chicago, and he's the one then opened another one as a shadow lead center at Mumbai. He is the one who got the recce conducted of David Headley. He is the one who selected the target, and jointly with David Headley, then they have planned for it, and then it was given to ISI. Then ISI had made a master plan as to how this complete operation has to be executed. Now, till now, Pakistan has been always claiming that there is no direct involvement of ISI or Pakistan Army. It was only, you can say, non-state actor. But what David Headley has also given a confession when before he has become a approver in US, he is also given that Tahawwur Rana is the main culprit, and also number of actors and characters of Lashkar-e-Toba and ISI like Major Iqbal and Majid Mari were also involved. Now, Tahawwur Rana coming to India, he will spill the pain. Now, he will openly convey to the system that as to how ISI was involved, how Pakistan Army was involved. Now, we have sent dossier almost about 35 times, and Pakistan refused to take action. The another very important thing which is come is that overground worker and sleeper cell which were functioning within India, they one which were helping them. Now, that is the biggest, fit which we want to catch it. Who are the enemies of the country within our own country? And that is where you will find it. He will play a major role. And also to bring down two people, that Hafiz Saeed and Lakwi, because they were the main culprit of Lashkar-e-Toba, who masterminded it as of today, both are in Pakistan. Now the point is there will be a huge pressure internationally. Now they must be sent to India and they
Right.
must face the law.
All right, we will leave it at that. Major General Ashwini Sivach and Ambassador Prabhu Dayal and my colleague Aditya Rajkol, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us on that big story that we're tracking here on News 9. We put the focus now on the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu, where ahead of the state assembly elections due early next year, the principal opposition in the state, AIADMK and the BJP, are inching closer towards finalizing an alliance. BJP leader Annamalai is set to meet with India's Union Home Minister Amit Shah. But what we're also picking up is that AIADMK chief Edappadi Palaniswamy will also meet Union Home Minister Amit Shah in Chennai to finalize the alliance and hold seat-sharing talks as well. Senior Tamil Nadu BJP leaders are said to be part of this quote-unquote handshake meeting, according to the sources. Now, to help us understand this further, I'm being joined by my colleague Gautam Shankar, straight from Bengaluru. Gautam, thank you so much for being on the broadcast. I mean, this is an alliance that fell apart a few years ago. In fact, in the aftermath of the last state assembly elections is when this BJP AIADMK alliance fell apart, and since then the AIADMK as a party has been in loads of trouble. Somehow it stands together, but there's all talk and rumors surrounding of how weak AIADMK is, the splinter groups, the factions within AIADMK, not forgetting OPS or O Paneerselvam and his faction. There's lots of question marks surrounding AIADMK itself, but as far as BJP is concerned, it's very clear that when it goes to contest the next state assembly election in Tamil Nadu, it wants to be with the AIADMK.
Absolutely. So, like you rightly put there, Krishna, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who will be arriving in Chennai later tonight, has a few things on his priority list. Now, I have just pointed out three prominent points here. One is obviously to look and crystallize the alliance with the AIDMK ahead of the 2026 Tamil Nadu Assembly elections. The other obvious things are obvious to look at a replacement for Annamalai, who has stepped down, and also to look for a suitable position for Annamalai as well, given that Tamil Nadu elections are just around the corner. If he is replaced as the BJP state president, you will want him around as well. So what kind of role will Annamalai play in this election? That is going to be a key thing as well. But also what we understand is that since Edappadi Palaniswamy, the General Secretary of the ADMK, has sought an appointment with Amit Shah, and a closed-door meeting is likely to happen tomorrow. In all fairness, it could be sort of a formal handshake that we could see between the BJP and the AIDMK returning to the NDA fold without a formal announcement of an alliance. Because keep in mind that EPS has said that the alliance talks and is going to happen closer to the polls, while not ruling out that it will happen. And given the fact that Amit Shah is going to be there, it's all going to be about seat sharing agreement. Who will be the bigger partner? Who will be the junior partner? Who will have to play the small role over there?
So Gautam, another question that is going to be in Chennai, and he needs to be answering, that everybody is asking, is who is going to be the next BJP chief of the Tamil Nadu BJP? That's another important question that will have to be answered after this meeting.
Absolutely, because while Annamalai was in a way responsible for the fallout with the AIDMK and them exiting the NDA, he has done a lot of good work, and he has put the BJP on the map in terms of Tamil Nadu itself, where this was a state where Tamil Nadu was struggling to get a foothold, but he conducted this Enmakad Padayatra and also endured himself with the people. So the BJP will be looking to have an apt replacement to ensure that the momentum that Annamalai has created in Tamil Nadu, someone is able to take that forward. So there are a few frontrunners that are the names that are doing the rounds, but the most prominent one is that of Nenar Nagendran, a senior leader who's basically joined the BJP from the AIDMK in 2017. Now he comes from the Tahawwur community as well. So this is being looked at as a balancing act in terms of the caste calculations as well, given that Annamalai is a counter and Edappadi Palaniswamy is a counter as well. They want to ensure that they have a prominent face in the southern parts of Tamil Nadu. So that is why Naina Nagendran comes into the picture as well. And given the fact that he's also served as a minister in the ADMK under Jayalalitha as well, all of these are positive
Right.
contributing factors to him. Now, apart from that, we also have names of L. Murugan, the former BJP president of Tamil Nadu, and Vanidhi Srinivasan, and a dark horse in the race as well in the name of Garbo Muruganathan, who had also accompanied Annamalai when he met Amit Shah as well. So these are some of the names that are doing the rounds right now in Tamil Nadu, Krishna.
Gautam Shankar joining us for that big story. Thank you, Gautam, for being with us.